we got a comment on an old video today. 49% of trans adults have attempted to, permanently harm themselves because there are words that YouTube won't let us say. And then it's they not accepting them, so I'm assuming trans children, could literally kill the child.
This is an extremely psychologically powerful narrative for a clinician to tell to a parent. And a lot of the parents who aren't well read on this actual literature will think, oh my goodness, well, I certainly wouldn't want to do that. So I guess we just need to go along ahead and whatever they say, and then that'll really help. If this is true, that by allowing kids to transition, this rate of self-harm is going to diminish, then what you would historically have seen is an exponentially high rate of self-harm, and then the puberty blockers came, the cross-sex hormones, the top surgery, and you name it, and then this plummet of self-harm shows up in the literature once these things became available. Study the literature and you will see the exact opposite has happened. Relatively low levels of self-harm, and then as the permission has been given for puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and so on, the self-harm rates go up. In fact, studies are clear that when you put a girl on puberty blockers, her rates of self-harm increase, not decrease. This literature is very available, but it's not being put out there. In fact, if you look at people who have gone through the transitioning process, the biggest study that has ever been done on this was done in Sweden. And what you really need to look at any study on this whole subject, how many people were involved in the study and how long-term was it? It's not enough to follow up with these people 18 months after the surgery or whatever. No, let's really stay with them for more than a decade. And what they found happens at about 8 to 10 years after transitioning, the rate of people taking their own lives goes up 19 times higher than the general population. Amongst female to male transitioners, the rate is 42 times as high as the general population.